Dr. Professor, St. Peter's Engineering College, Hyderabad. This lecture basically we need to review the basic concepts of the signals and systems, which is helpful to the student to be understand in such a way. So we need to take the excellent the draft of the signals and systems. So here basically the signals and systems is classified the three categories, which is the first one is the analysis, the second one is the approximation, third one is the transformation. So here basically the analysis may be introduced in the signals and systems, and which will be extension to the LTI systems, that is a linear time invariant systems. What is the difference between the time invariant and linear time invariant and time variant? These two are very important here. If we will take a linear time invariant, the signals should not be changed with respect to the time, that is the linear time invariant. Which will be changed with respect to the time, that is the time variant. So here this is under the analysis part, and now we are going to talk about the classification of signals and how the signals is progress in general, and as well as how many types of systems, what is the properties of systems, and the standard signal characteristics of the continuous and the discrete time signals, like that, and which is the one part. And the extension, which we need to take the exact the information of the signal, which is done by using of the approximation, which is for the periodic signals with the time variation. So which is indicating and we will get the exact approximation of the signal characteristics, which is done by the Fourier series. And the third one is the transformation, which is a very important, which is a very applicative part in a communication engineering as a signal processing applications, medical applications, and lot of defense applications. Everywhere we use the transformation techniques, like we used to take a continuous time Fourier transformation and the discrete Fourier transformation, and as well as the Laplace transformation and the jet transformation. So here generally used to take the continuous Fourier transformation, which is applicable for the Laplace transformation, and the discrete Fourier transformation, which is for the jet transformation, like. So now we used to take this is the actual things, and now we are going to refer the a number of books, like the standard reference books for the student point of view, which is very important to their future endeavors, like a GATE, IES and all. So this is a special class for the student point of view. So in this connection you may refer these books for the GATE or any competitive examinations, like Indian Engineering Services, like that. So here generally used to take here the Oppenheim and Schaffer. This is a very good book, and it is a textbook for preferred by the JNTU, prescribed by the JNTU. So now and the second one is Hykins and Van Wyn. This is also a very good book. So here I used to take generally which is meant for the IES, Indian Engineering Services, which is a great top examination, which gives the executive ranks of the engineering students. So it may be refer such type of books. And signals and systems by the Hsu and Ramjan, and as well as the BP Lathi also there, and Hykins, BP Lathi is a very good book, and a number of reference books also there, which is prescribed with the JNTU. As per that we may go for the subject point of view, but it is the specific class which will be give the importance of the signals and systems to the future endeavors, competitive examination point of view, as well as we will consider the lecture for the what we call the syllabus also. So here the signal, what is a signal? Already know that signal is an indication about which some amount of information is conveyed. That means whatever you want to convey some message to any person, so that is the instance of the signal, which is by using of the talk with the XYZ people, like that, or any message should be transferred to the any person, which is instance of the signal. So therefore, which is conveyed the information from one point to other point, it indicates the signal. So therefore the randomness is the information. So here what is the randomness and what is the determinist? So that means the a specific certain signal which is called the deterministic, and the random is the unknown signal we cannot identify. So that is called the information. The things which are that don't known is a signal. That means the unknown signal is called the randomness. So clearly you have to understand what is the deterministic and the randomness. So here any type of signal which is the unknown signal, that is called the randomness, right? The operation that can be performed on a signals are the enhancing, filtering, extracting and the storing. So these four categories we need to take the operation performance of the signals. So here the enhancing means the boost up, that means amplification like that. So that means extracting somewhat the elaborate the things and all. So the storing, which is the memory or memoryless, the two types of signals will be there. And the filtering means used to take generally whatever the signal you are transmitting from one point to the other point, that will be considered by giving a right information to the destination. That means you used to take the in a communication system, we have the signal processing is there, it have the lot of additional signals will be added to the actual signal, that is called a noise signals. That noise signals in sense of any you say that the external noise and internal noise like that, and the path loss is also there. So therefore it have the lot of noise should be added to the signal, that should be filtered by using of any filtering circuit like a low pass filters like so therefore this is a filtering, unwanted signal should be removed by using the filtering circuit. This is the operation of the operation performance of the signals, right? So now we will coming to the characteristics of the signal. Basically used to take a characteristics of the signal more than one independent variables. So say that a speech signal, this is called the one dimensional signal which is depends on only time. And if you coming to the image is having actually image consists of the both x and y axis. So therefore it consists of any signal should be coordinate with x and y. So therefore the two dimensional signal x and y axis, so say that I of x comma y like that, which is indicate the pixels. So pixel consists of the two coordinate the points. For example, somewhere the point will be there. So here the point indicates, just you will take like this. If they take this is the point exactly this point have, for example, you say that 2 comma 3. So that means you say that 2 relates to the x axis and the 3 relates to the y axis like that. So therefore this is the image which is the two coordinates. Now we will coming to the TV picture, you say that this is a 3-dimensional. What is a 3-dimensional? Already know that if you take a xyz coordinates is there, and the Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system and the spherical coordinate system. Generally used to take the 3-dimensional signal example x comma y comma z, which is the TV picture is a 3-dimensional signal. Like these the categorized the signal 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional like that. Now we'll coming to this the randomness. What is the randomness? More the randomness, more the information. That means if the unknown signal will be there, more unknown signal is there, more information will get actually. So here you used to take the I is equal to the log base to 1 by pi, that's equivalent to the, already know that, so it should be shifted to the numerator side, then it will get a minus indication, minus log base to pi. So where you say that the pi is equivalent to the 1 by 8, which is indicates the how many bits, you say that 2 cube like that. If you will take a 2 power n, where n is or here you say that the I is equal to the 3 bits here. So you may understand that I is equal to 3 bits. Then the equivalent 1 by 2 power 3. So here 1 by 2 cube. Then you will take actually what 1 by 8. If you will come into the more randomness, the I is equal to 5 bits, you say that. What happened? 1 by 32, 1 by 2 power 5. I is equal to 6 bits, 1 by 64 like that. So therefore, more random means the bit size should be increases automatically, right? So the third one is the bandwidth. What is the bandwidth? In order to know the bandwidth of the channel, we should know the bandwidth of a signal. So that's why the bandwidth is one of the what we call the characteristic of a signal. So therefore the bandwidth is more important. Allocate n number of channels, which is depends on the bandwidth only actually. How we are going to take the bandwidth? Bandwidth is basically used to take the upper 3 dB frequency minus lower 3 dB frequency points, that is called the bandwidth. So in general used to take the bandwidth, for example, you take this is the frequency f0, you say that, so here f2 is there and here f1 is there, for example. So therefore in between this is called the bandwidth. This is called the bandwidth. Like this you used to take this upper 3 dB, this is the upper 3 dB and lower 3 dB like this. For example, like this, you will take these 2 points to say that one is lower 3 dB point and other one is here the upper 3 dB point. So in between that used to take, that is about the upper and lower 3 dB indifference. So this is called the bandwidth, which is indicated like this. And types of signals. What are the types of signals? Already know that the continuous time signal and the discrete time signal. So therefore, what is a continuous time signal? A signal which occurs with a continuous value of time is called a continuous time signal. At any instant, the amplitude of the signal is known. This is the characteristics of the continuous time signal. What is actually a signal which occurs with a continuous value of time and is called the continuous signal, and at any instant the amplitude of the signal is known. This is about the continuous time signal, and the continuous both in time and the amplitude is continuous. So therefore here you used to take the continuous time signal. Example, you say x of t is equal to e power minus 3t of u of t like this. So you used to take, this is the actually how you are going to indicate, this is the decay. So therefore the amplitude is maximum 1 and it should be decaying like this. And here you used to take the amplitude, the time and the signal type. You say that, for example, you used to take here the continuous time signal and time is a continuous and the amplitude is continuous time signal. Amplitude is continuous but the time is a discrete, then discrete time signal. If we take a amplitude discrete and time is a continuous, then that is called the quantizer. If we take a time is continuous and the amplitude is continuous, then that is called the digital signal. That means how many types of signals generally? Generally used to take up to that what we say in the 2 types of signals is there continuous time signals and discrete time signals. But you say the both signals should be varied with respect to the magnitude and the time. According to that, how the time will be varied, how the amplitude will be varied. According to that, we may justify the signal type. So here the both amplitude and time is continuous, then that is the continuous time signal. If the amplitude is continuous and the time is discrete, then discrete signal. Amplitude discrete and time is continuous, quantizer that is. And both will be the discrete, then that is called the digital signal, right? So this is the actual classification of the signals, and whenever there is a sudden change in the level or the amplitude is called the discontinuous signal. If we will change any amplitude of the signal, that is a discontinuity will be framed. So therefore that type of signal, just you see here example, you say that in figure the y of t is the amplitude and here the time, these two versus amplitude versus time signal is there. If we will take the first instant from 0 to 1, it have the less amplitude, and from 1 to 2 it is rise the amplitude in certain extent, and the amplitude is high. That means in this signal the amplitude will be varied. So that means what type of signal will come into the picture here. So the amplitude, just to observe here, whatever we say that amplitude is continuous and time is discrete signal, that is. But amplitude and time both will be continuous, then that is a continuous signal. So therefore here at a t equal to 0, 1, 2 like this, there are the sudden change in amplitude. So at a t equal to 0, 1, 2 in the y of t, the amplitude is not defined, then this is a discontinuous time, discontinuous, you see that. Okay, so they are piecewise discontinuous, just to observe that. And the discrete signal, a signal which is continuous in amplitude but discrete in time. Already you know that the tabular form, it shows directly when the amplitude is continuous and the time is discrete, then what is the discrete time signal that is? So therefore here the definition of the discrete signal is amplitude is continuous but discrete in time, then the integer values of the time index is called the discrete signal, and the bandwidth will be very less, less than the continuous signal, and they used in the concept of the multiplexing, which is a very easy. So here generally in a communication system we used to take the different types of multiplexers like a frequency division multiplexing, time division multiplexing, code division multiplexing, like that. So therefore this discrete type of signals will be used in the multiplexing concept. So it communicate very easy. Multiplexing means you say that the n number of inputs will give and get a few outputs, like that. Example, you say that the 8 to 1 multiplexer, 4 to 1 multiplexer, 8 to 3 multiplexer, like that. N number of inputs and only one output, like that. That is the multiplexer. 16 to 1 multiplexer, anything. This is the concept of the multiplexing. It's communicate very easy. So the sampling, you say that here sampling x of t and x of nts, where you say that the time t is equivalent to the nts, you say that ts is the sampling and n is the integer numbers, you say that the 1, 2, 3 like this plus or minus. So now you used to take this is the example, you say that x of t is equal to e power minus 3t u of t. Previously it is a continuous signal, already know that in the previous section. Now previous page, now you take x of t versus the t. So how many discrete timings is there? Which is starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to so on, like this, the t axis and the x of t. So here you used to take the x of nts is equivalent to the, what we did actually here, instead of t you say that nts you say. So therefore here e power minus 3 nts, u of nts. So here let you say that the ts is equal to 1 second. Then what is happen? X of n is equal to e power minus 3n u of n. So therefore x of nts tends to the x of n. For a simplicity you say that x of nts minus ts, which is equal to x of n minus 1. So therefore ts is depend on a sampling theorem. So therefore sampling frequency is always much greater than or equal to the twice of the modulating frequency. So that means the fs is much greater than or equivalent to the 2fm. So therefore x of nts it tends to the x of n. For the simplicity you say that. Now you used to take the, so we can't use the ts is equal to the 1 second every time. So therefore you may take almost amplitude or same for all the samples. So the purpose of the sampling is multiplexing. Every discrete signal is not the sampled version of the continuous signal. Some of the discrete signals are predefined. So here just to try to understand this, every discrete signal is not the sampled version of the continuous signal, but somehow it have some predefined signals also there in discrete. So just to note it down, this is the amplitude conversion from C tends to 0, that is the quantizer, and the time conversion C tends to 0, that is a sampling. So that is the main difference. So you used to take the quantizer and sampling, which is respect to the amplitude conversion from C tends to 0 and the time conversion from C tends to 0, like this. Now we will come into the digital signal. What is a digital signal? A signal which is discrete in time and amplitude, quantized amplitude, is called the discrete digital signal. And the quantizer is used to convert the continuous amplitude signal into the discrete amplitude signals. So that means the quantizer is used to convert the continuous amplitude signal to the discrete amplitude signals. That means generally used to take analog to digital converter in communication system. But you are the second year students, then you don't know about the communication system. So far it is not coming, but you have to know the basic terminology. So therefore the quantizer is used to convert the continuous amplitude signal into the discrete amplitude signals. So the conversion. So the sampler is used to convert the continuous time signal into the discrete time signal, that is the sampler. But the quantizer is a continuous time signal into the discrete time signal. Okay, that is the quantizer for the amplitude and the sampler for the time signal. You have to remember these two are very, very important here. Quantizer meant for the amplitude conversion from continuous to the discrete, and the sampler is used for the continuous time to the, convert the continuous time to the discrete time signals, right? So that is the basic difference between quantizer and the sampler. Now, the some of the standard continuous signals. Already I told in the previous sections, but we will reveal this because the importance is more for your future endeavors. So therefore here, unit step function. What is the unit step function here? So here generally the unit step function which will be starts at the 0 level to the positive infinite side. But less than 0, it may not have any single signal. So that means if the value at the level of t equal to 0, there is a discontinuity will be there, right? So therefore in a mathematical way of expression, which is u of t is equivalent to the 1, and where the t is greater than 0, where u of t equal to 0, then t is less than 0. This is the condition actually, this is called the unit step function. And if we take the at t equal to 0, there is a discontinuity, that is why they are not defining a u of t at t equal to 0. That is the cause actually. So generally used to take, but the practical u of t signal is follow in a lab, you say that like this generally, because it starts from 0, but it is not exactly 0. That's why in a mathematical operation used to take, which is the u of t is 1 when t is greater than 0, and u of t equal to 0 when t is less than 0. That means at the point of 0 there is no definite signal in this unit step function. So therefore here just to say, in the practically used to take, this is the practical way of approaching of the unit step signal, just to say like this, which is started at the epsilon which is equal to 10 power minus 3 like this. So therefore used to take this fraction of microseconds like. So therefore in the mathematically you say that the u of 0 is equal to half. U of 0 is equal to half here. So you used to take generally u of t which is equal at the t which is starts at the 0 level, and it should continue up to the infinite. If we take a u of minus t, which is a quite reverse like which is starts from 0 towards to the minus t like this, u of minus t, and it is a u of t. So this is the mathematical expressions of the unit step function. And now you used to take u of t plus u of minus t, which is like this. This is the equivalent signal of the u of t plus u of minus t, which is equivalent to the 1 you say that, which is at t equal to 0. So therefore both will be u of 0 plus u of 0 equal to 1, u of 0 equal to half. Now the rectangular function, this is a rectangular function you say that, which is indicated by a rectangular of t of t by t, which is you say that, or you say that sometimes you say a pi of t like this. So therefore a rectangular function t of t which is equal to a, when the t value is always in between the minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. You will observe that in figure. You say that here minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 you say. Here you say that minus t by 2 it is start, and add that t by 2 plus t by 2. So therefore the amplitude of the signal during this time period which is equal to a. If you are coming to the other sections like this side or this side, you say that which is 0. Okay. So therefore this is about the area of a rectangular function. So now you will take a continuous impulse function, you say that. What is the impulse function generally? Impulse function is attained at only at the t equal to 0 time level only. It gives the maximum amplitude, del of t equal to infinite like this. So that means in a mathematical approach, you may take a del of t is equal to the infinite at t equal to 0 and t tends to 0. If we coming to that the t is not equal to 0, then what is the value of del of t? Is equal to 0 del of t. Only attain the Dirac delta function or the continuous time impulse function, which is attained at t equal to 0, del of t equivalent to the infinite. If we take in general used to take used approximation of the standard signal, say that by approximating a unit area Okay, unit area rectangular function, we can generate a unit impulse function. Just to observe that here in this figure, you say 1 by epsilon tends to infinity and the epsilon tends to 0 like this. Just you will take you will take a how you are going to take 1 by epsilon is there. This is the amplitude you say. Now you used to take which is goes to the infinite. If you take epsilon tends to 0, then 1 by epsilon tends to infinity. So therefore here just to observe that minus of 2 plus of minus 1 by 4 to plus 1 by 4, minus 1 by 8 to plus 1 by 8, minus 1 by 16 to 1 by 16 like this. Then this is the rectangular area, you say that here actually what happened, unit impulse function area. So used to take generally by using a rectangular function, by this is like this. And if we are coming to the Gaussian function, which is e power minus at square like this, this is the Gaussian function indication. Okay, so if you will take for example, you say that here x of t is equal to 3 del of t whole square, just will say this amplitude which is not equal to 3, but amplitude tends to infinity. So therefore, but the area under del of t equal to 3. So now this is understanding purpose only. Now we'll come into the properties of the del of t. What are the properties of the impulse function? That is very important. For the impulse function properties, just you observe that the area concept are used in the continuous what is the impulse function or the continuous del function, whatever, both are same. So for what are the properties of the del of t, I mean impulse function, you say that del of t minus infinite to plus infinite del of t into dt equal to 1. This is the property of the del of t. The del of alpha t, which is equal to the scaling 1 by alpha into of del of t, which is alpha is a scaling factor, already you know that this is alpha, which is scaling factor like. So now you used to take generally now the product or sampling, you say that x of t into del of t minus t naught. So now you used to take generally, it should be changed that x of t naught into del of t minus t naught. If the x of t is a continuous at t equal to t naught, then you will take x of t naught into del of t minus t naught, where t naught is the time shift, already know that. So therefore you may write like this, x of t to del of t minus t naught equal to x of t naught into del of t minus t naught, where x of t is continuous at t equal to t naught. Okay. So now the example, you say that cos t into cos t minus pi. How you are going to take the same principle you are applying here, which is that t naught equal to pi. So therefore what you say that t naught equal to pi, then cos pi is equal to what, cos 180 minus 1, you say that. So cos of del of t minus t naught. So here just to observe that means cos pi into del of t minus t naught, which is equivalent to the cos pi is the minus 1, already know that. The similarly used to take the t into del of t, which is equal to t naught into del of t at t naught equal to 0. So therefore the total function comes to 0. This is a good examples for understanding purpose of the impulse function. And now you say that a del of t is equivalent to the del of minus t. Okay. So now the shifting means just to say the time varying in between the t1 to t2. So therefore x of t into del of t minus t naught into dt, where that equivalent to the x of t naught, where the t naught in between the t1 to t2, elsewhere it is equivalent to the 0. This is a shift should be lies in between the limits like t1 to t2. So now example, just will take my 0 to infinite, the problem given example problem, t plus cos pi t into del of t minus 1 into dt. This is the given one. Here you say that what is the value, t naught equal to 1, for example, you say. So therefore how you are going to write the given equation, just to take 1 plus cos pi, which is equal to 1 minus 1 plus minus 1, which is equal to y minus 1 cos pi. Cos pi is the minus 1 generally, where you say that the t naught equivalent to the 1, you observe. So therefore you say that 1 plus cos pi, which is equal to 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So therefore the total function comes to 0. And now you used to take the another function cos t into u of t minus 3, into del of t minus 1 like this. Just you observe that from that and the u of t minus 3 is there, which starts from the 3 for the positive axis side, and u of t minus 3 is a function. So therefore this is a cosine function, like you say that the which is increasing like this. This is about the u of t minus 3 and it is a del of t minus 1. The both will be multiplied and you will get no overlap, so the answer is 0. So therefore u of t minus 3 into del of t minus 1, which is equal to 0. Now you take, because from this figure there is no overlap of two functions, so there is no correlation, so therefore the product will be equivalence of 0 according to this figure. So now you used to take generally the x of t minus 2 minus t and del of 4 minus t into dt. This is the given one, which is in between the minus infinite to plus infinite. So now you may take the del of 4 minus t, which is equal to the del of t minus 4, because the del of t is nothing but a del of minus t. So that may be used here, and you used to take the t not equal to the 4, you say that. Now you may apply that t instead of t, you say that t not equal to 4. Then x of 2 minus t naught, so x of 2 minus 4, because t naught is 4, so therefore x of minus 2. So that is the solution for this, x of minus 2, equivalent solution. So now you take another simple problem, 0 to infinity e power t minus 3 to del of 3t minus 9, you say that. So into dt, this is the given problem. First you take this function del of 3t, del of 3t minus 9. So therefore which will be del of 3 is common, t minus 3, and again you will come to this, the 1 by 3 is common here, for example del of t minus 3, where t not equal to 3. Now you used to take generally t not equal to 3, so therefore again you may take 1 by 3 e power t naught minus 3, 1 by 3 e power t naught minus 3. So therefore 1 by 3 as usual, the t naught is 3, 3 minus 3 is 0, e power 0 equal to 1. So therefore 1 by 3 into 1 equal to 1 by 3. Now you will come into the unit ramp function. The r of t equal to t, where t is greater than 0, and 0 whether t is less than 0. So now you may take like this, this is the r of t, the ramp function is there, which is starts from the 0 and which is linearly increases towards to the t as well as the y-axis r of t. So therefore now you say the difference, how you are going to take the differentiate the r of t, differentiation of r of t equal to unit step function u of t, then you will get like this. Again differentiation of the u of t is equivalent to the that means the again double differentiation of the ramp function, which is equivalent to the del of t. So therefore this is the differentiation output of the ramp signal of the 2 times differentiation with respect to the time, then which is equal to the impulse function. So therefore here you see the r of t, which is equal to 10 power minus 3 used to take, and here the 1, because the del of t equal to d by dt of u of t, already know the u of t equal to integral minus infinite to t del of t into dt. So by using of that formula, just will take u of t is the axis is there, u star of t equal to del of t, already know that. So this is epsilon to the 1 by so epsilon, which is time axis, and 1 by epsilon is then y axis. I mean you say that that is amplitude. So the function which do not possess a higher derivative are a singularity function, example r of t and u of t, like this. Now we will come into the signum function. This is the signum function, whatever is seen here. The maximum amplitudes at the minus 1 and the plus 1 amplitudes both, which is at the 0 level, it should be start to for towards to the positive and towards to the negative in other side. So for any odd function, amplitude is 0 at origin. So therefore here and this moment at the 0 t equal to 0, the what we call the amplitude equal to 0, and the rest of time the amplitude is equivalent to the unit step function, like 1 or whatever it may be. So signum function, signum of t equal to u of t minus u of minus t. So you may take directly signum of t is equal to the 2 ut u of t minus 1, where you say that the u of t plus u of minus t equivalent to the 1, already know that. So therefore, for the condition, for the any only t condition, t equal to 0, then you will take like this, and you will get the result is like this. This is the next exponential functions. Exponential are the real functions. You say that exponential real function and exponential imaginary also there. But you say the real exponential function, you say that e power sigma t like this, and the e power minus 2t, which is the decay, e power 3t, which is the exponentially growth. Exponentially decay and exponential growth respectively. And you will take a complex sinusoidal function which is indicated of the e power plus or minus j omega naught t. So here the complex exponential function which is the e power st, which is equivalent to the e power of sigma plus j omega into t, because s is equivalent to the sigma plus j omega, which is relates to the Laplace transformation generally, real part as well as imaginary part, you say that, which is relates to the frequency also omega. So now the unit step sequence, just you will observe that the unit step sequence, just will say, which is starts from the 0, which is up to the 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on n numbers like that, where the unit step function u of n is equal to 1 for n is always greater than or equal to 0, and whether it is 0 for n is always greater less than 0. And it is not a sample version of the u of t, because u of t is a discontinuous at t equal to 0. Just to observe that it should be discontinuous at t equal to 0. So it is a sample version of the u of t. So now you used to take a u of n is equal to 1, where at n is equal to 0. But in this figure, just to observe that n is equal to 0, then u of n is equal to 1 in this particular diagram. So now the discrete impulse or the Nochener delta, you say that del of x is equal to 1, so which is equal to 0 to at t equal to 0, at n is equal to 0, then it is a sequence, so amplitude is 1, so n is equal to 0. If n is not equal to 0, the amplitude is 0. The same for the continuous function, del of t equal to 1 for the t equal to 0, and t equal to not equal to 0, then the what is the del of t equal to 0 at that moment. Similarly for the discrete time signals also same. So here del of t equal to differentiation of the unit step function, already you know that differentiation of the u of t. So therefore t and difference, this differentiation is t. For del xn is equal to xn minus 1. Similarly, del of n is equal to u of n minus 1. So therefore here just will take, this is the differentiation. If you are coming to the summation, which is nothing but integration, which is u of t equal to minus infinite to t and del of z into dz. So now the integration part, you say that u of n is equal to sigma minus n to n and the del of k like this. Just you will observe that u of n is equal to sigma m is equal to 0 to infinite to 0, and you say that the del of n minus 1 n minus k equal to m like this. N minus 1 is n minus k is nothing but m, you say that you say u of n is equal to sigma m is equal to 0 to infinite del of n minus m. So from this analysis you say that del of kn is equal to the del of n. So now similarly the del of 4n is there, where the del of 4n equal to 0, then n equal to 0, then it gives the maximum what we call the amplitude, which is equivalent to the 1, and the rest of things which is equal to 0. So the transformation of the signal, just to say the two types, one is the time scaling, other one is the time shifting, you say that. And the time scaling signal, x of t it tends to the x of at and x of n tends to the x of mn, is used to recording which is the x of t k for the RPM. RPM means revolutions per minute, which is the 60 minutes, you say that. Generally used to take x of 2t equivalent to the k, which is 30 minutes RPM like this. So this is the time shifting, you say that. Now what is the time shifting generally used to take? X of t minus t naught, which is equivalent to the x of n minus n naught. This is the propagation delay will be there. So here earth station to the satellite, how the signals is passing. So here x of t is the actual signal which is passing from the earth station to the satellite, and the satellite to the earth station the signal delay will be there, that is x of t minus t naught. What is the delay actually? At the t time, the signal will be transmitted from the earth station to the satellite through the uplink, and where it should be transmitting in a transponder in the satellite, it may take some time, and it should transmitted towards the earth station through the downlink. So that time it may take, the delay is there, that is called the x of t minus t naught, where so this is actually the time shifting, you say that the time reversal, x of minus t, or you say that x of minus n, this is the time reversal. All already data are stored. We want to access it one more time, we use the time reversal, and that is if we are hearing a music song, or and after completion at the first time, in order to repeat, rehear whatever it may be, and it may be rewind it, and it may be nothing, is nothing but the time reversal, you say that, right? The whatever it may be. So either song or whatever the audio recording or whatever it may be, once you have to go back, and which is on, that is called the time reversal. And the amplitude scaling. So amplitude scaling, which is the k x of t, which is the, or you say the k x of n. The time scaling, you say that already know that, which is the minus 1 to 1 here, x of t. X of t is the time in between the minus 1 to 1, then x of t equal to 1. Elsewhere it is equal to 0. So this is the time scaling. X of 2t is there. How you are going to take actually? This is the unit, you say minus of and plus of like this. So therefore x of 2t equal to 1, where 2t is in between the minus 1 to 1. And similarly x of 2t equal to 1 for the t is in between the minus of to plus of like this. So therefore this is the actually what we call it as the time scaling in two examples, you say that. So here the x of t by 5, you say that x of t by 5. So it should be reversed, already know that minus 5 to plus 5. X of t by 5 equal to 1, so therefore t is in between the minus 5 to plus 5. And you say that if a is greater than 1, then it comes to the compression of x of t, where a is less than 1, at expansion of x of t, right? The time shifting. Time shifting means, you say that the x of t minus 2 and x of t minus 4, the two signals they are given here, used to take how the x of t minus 2 is there, so therefore it is the advanced, you say that, like you say how the delay is there, how the signal is passing. For example, in the previously what we have, this is a signal where you will take, right, minus 1 to 1 like this. If you will take the two times, I mean the time delay is there, then the 1 2 delay is there, which is the minus 1 axis to the plus 1 axis, it is shifting, and which starts from the 1 to 3 like this. And similarly x of t plus 4, this is advanced. So therefore which is what is a move towards to the negative side, which previously it is the minus 1, now it may shift to the minus 3, and minus 1 to the 4 times, so minus 1 to the minus 4 and plus 1 to the minus 3 like this. So this is the t is greater than 0 for the first one, and the t is less than 0 for the second one. In the right shift and left shift like this, the time delayed and time advanced like this, which is okay. In a real time, the time advanced is not possible. So therefore, that is we cannot predict any output before giving the input. Okay, right. Any system operating, when you are going to give some inputs, then you will get some outputs. Without any inputs, there is no operation of the system. So therefore, we cannot predict without input. So therefore, the real-time process, what is the only delayed is operated, not the advanced one, right? So now you used to draw the following signals to say that the u of sin pi t. U of sin pi t is equivalent to the 1. So sin pi t is greater than 0, sin pi t is less than 0. The two conditions is there. When the sin pi t is greater than 0, then it have the maximum number 1, you say that. If you will take, otherwise it is 0. Just to observe that, yeah, sin pi t is greater than 0. So therefore the sin pi t is there here. Yeah, this is sinusoidal wave, right. So now you take the x of t is equal to u of t plus 1 minus 2u of t plus u of t minus 1. This is the signal given. Just will take u of t plus 1, already know that, which is advanced plus minus this side, negative side it may go. And you will take a minus 2 u of t, already know that the minus 2 is the amplitude and the u of t, which is like this. And another one is what, u of t minus 1, which is advanced, right side it should shift. So therefore like this, the three signals we got it, and you have to multiply these three, not multiply, minus and plus like this. So therefore you may take the what we call the u plus t1, already you know that, which starts from minus 1, and second one is the minus of minus, which will gives the plus like this, and which is at the minus 2 amplitude. So therefore like this, and the third one is what we call which starts from the 1. You say that these signals will be plus and minus like this, and you will get the result is like this, or otherwise just you will see this is the okay, otherwise you may draw like this, and the t equal to minus 1 and 1 like this. This is a t is equal to minus 1, this is t equal to plus 1. So therefore it will start like this, and here you take u of t is there, which is on the axis, the minus 1 to the plus 1 like this, and you will take the y of t is equal to r of t plus 2 minus r of t plus 1 minus r of t minus 1 plus r of t minus 2 like this. This is the ramp signal, you say that, r of t plus 2, which starts from the advanced like this, minus 2 it may start like this, here just to observe that minus 2 it may start, and the r of t plus 1, t plus 1 means it is also advanced, minus 1 it may start like this at this point, and you will take the minus of r of t minus 1, which starts at this point actually. So r of t minus 2, which starts at this point. So from this relation, just you have to take generally you used to take, this is the actual figure in the minus infinite to minus 2, so slope is 0, the minus 2 to minus 1 slope is 1, and the minus 1 to plus 1 here, from here to here, this is the minus 1 to plus 1 axis, which is the slope equivalent to the minus 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0, and the slope for t in between 1 and 2, which is the minus 1 is there, and the t in between the 2 to infinitive, so the slope is minus 1 plus 1, which is equal to 0. So therefore here this is the actual resultant signal of the given functions. Write the following signal in terms of the singularity functions. So here just to see, this is the given diagram, just we have to try to understand this. What is the output y of t equivalent to the, one is at the starting 1 into of r of t plus 4 minus 1 into of r of t plus 2, right, okay, plus u of t minus 3r of t minus 4, okay, and 3r of t minus 5 like this. Just you have to take, this is another signal, like how you are able to write it. This is just to observe that what is the output signal, which starts from the 0. So therefore at the r of t, but the slope is 2 by t, you say that, and you will take the t by 2 is there, t minus t by 2. What is the slope here? The 4 by t is there, 4 by t r of t minus 2. Okay, so now the 2 by t r of t minus t. So this is about the given signal results. Now we will take x of t equal to 0 for t is less than 0. For what range of the following function are set to 0? Just to try to do this. This is x of 1 minus t plus x of t minus 2 is equal to 0 for t equal to 0. X of 1 minus t into x of t minus 2 equal to 0 for t. So here x of t equal to 0 for t is less than 0 like this, and x of 1 minus t equal to 0 for t minus t is less than 2, and second x of 1 minus t equal to 0, t is greater than minus 2 like this. So therefore these the signals which we are draw like this, and if we take x of t minus 2 is equal to 0, so therefore t minus 2 is less than 3, and again you may take minus 1 is less than 3, 3 is greater than minus 1, like this. So this is about the signals drawn according to that this one figure. So here just to observe that how you are going to take the x of t plus 3, which is the x of t plus 3 minus 4 minus 3 minus 2 minus 1. So this is the method one. Just you have to apply the time scaling and time shiftings, and you will do like this. This is about the simple mathematical equations of the standard signals. Okay, we'll see you next class. Thank you very much for watching.